Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing our January 2020 budget, which is crazy. Things are gonna be a little different today because I don't have my full blown setup. I lost my memory card to my DSLR and it's just very ghetto over here. So this is all that I have to give and hopefully this will do. But I'm going to just share with you guys what our budget is going to be. It's going to be our first month as homeowners, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm just going to walk you guys through our budget, tell you guys like some of our January 2020 goals, like regarding the house and just like personal financial goals, and that's pretty much, you know, and we'll talk about the actual budget, and that's pretty much what's going to happen today. So I have with me my Erin Condren Deluxe monthly planner. This is what I use for budgeting. I actually use stickers that I create inside of this planner and it's super cute. And I'm just gonna share with you guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna share with you guys what I have so far. In January is going to be a crazy month for money, obviously for income, because we all are going to, by we all, I mean my husband and me, we're going to receive an extra paycheck. So that's one perk. So I'm going to get paid 3 times and he is going to get paid 5 times. Yes. 3 Thursdays for me, 5 Januaries for my husband. We have, let me just walk you guys through our bills. So our first bill is going to be due on the 3rd, and that is going to be cable/internet. What's going to happen is on January the 2nd, today's December 31st, by the way. What's going to happen is on January 2nd, AT&T is going to come and set up our new cable and internet. So technically, Comcast is supposed to service this area, but I've been going back and forth with them on the phone and in the store for literally 2 weeks, and the last thing that they told me was that they are trying to get approval to add this address to their system or whatever so that they can service this particular house, even though it's up the street from a house that they service. Anyway, so I'm like, well, how long does that normally take? And the lady said that she did not know. So I was like, you know what? I really don't have time. I mean, in the nicest way possible. Like, I wasn't mean to her, but like in the nicest way that I could say this, I don't really have time to be waiting on, like, I don't know answers. That doesn't work for me when it comes to internet. So I was like, all right, let me just go to AT&T because I know for sure that they are willing and ready to service this area, because I tried to, like, I went to like fake setup services online and the address popped up and all of that. So I was like, let me just call them and get services set up. So that is what I have done. So on January the 2nd, they are going to come, AT&T is going to come set up cable and internet. As for Comcast, I have canceled them. Honestly, I like Comcast and Xfinity, and as soon as they get their acts together, maybe in a couple months, I'll probably try to call and get them to come over here and set up, and I'll probably try to cancel AT&T probably. But as of right now, our first bill for AT&T will not be due until February, because she ran my credit and whatever and determined that I didn't have to pay anything up front, which meant that our first bill for AT&T will be in February. However, we do still have to pay Comcast one last time. But when I talked to the representative on the phone, she told me that it would be basically half the price of what our normal bill would be. So instead of it being $110.72, the last bill that we will have to pay on the 3rd of January is going to be $55. She said like 54 and change, I think, but I just rounded it to 55. So that's the deal on cable/internet. Our next bill will be due on the 5th, which is my husband's health insurance, and then my husband's credit card will have to be paid in full on the 9th. Georgia Power, we have made that transfer of services, so on the 10th we have to pay the $30 transfer fee and the remaining balance from our apartment, which is $57.09, which brings us to $87.09. So I guess our bill will be due every 30 days after the 10th, which is what it normally is. but that's changed a little bit. But I'm doing the best that I can and trying to figure all this out because it's crazy. Okay, so the next bill will be my gym fees, due on the 17th at $19.99. We have canceled my husband's gym because he didn't go. He hasn't been since January. I've at least been since January, but I can bring somebody so he can just come with me. And then on the 18th, my Best Buy credit card is due. And then I am leaving for California with a friend and her friend. We're her two friends, two of her close best friends. We are just not friends, if that makes any sense. Anyway, leaving on the 18th. I'm meeting up with one of my, what do I call them? Virtual coworkers. So somebody who also does YouTube and Etsy and like in the same online genre field niche as me. We're meeting up for dinner on the 18th, and we will be in California until the 21st. On the 20th, our cell phones are due. On the 21st, our student loan payments are due. I have a dentist appointment on the 22nd when I get back from California. And then our life insurances will be due on the 27th. So those are kind of like all of our bills. We are gonna do a date night, and I think I'm in charge of planning it for January. So I think we're gonna do that on the 25th when I get back, like that weekend when I get back. And I think we're gonna do dinner and a movie. We have a gift card that my mother-in-law got us for Christmas, and I think we're gonna go see Bad Boys on the 25th. That's like our favorite date night, by the way. So I think that's what we're gonna do on the 25th. And that is pretty much gonna be all of like the major, like that's pretty much how January is gonna go for us financially. Now, we don't have a rent payment or a mortgage payment, but we did our walkthrough yesterday, and the lady, the apartment, I call people lady, the man, the apartment leasing agent told us that we should very well be getting our full deposit back. So I'm super excited about that. Also, what I want to do is create a mortgage, like, so one of my to-dos, goals for January is to create a mortgage buffer, because I want to always have enough money in our main checking account to cover our mortgage. We pretty much always had that for our rent, but our mortgage is obviously more than our rent payment, so I want to create that for our mortgage as well. I also need to buy my friend her gift. There's one big gift I want to get her, and then I think I want to maybe do another, or you know, one or two others. We want to add to our emergency fund. We want to, and we might cap it at that point. We want to cap our savings for taxes. Obviously, taxes, it's almost time for that, so I want to start prepping for those, regarding like reconciling all of the business expenses and income and stuff for 2019, as well as are not like at our full-time jobs, and like just starting to get organized with all of that for in January. So prep for taxes. I also want to go online and try to set up our mortgage payment. I haven't even tried that yet. And I think I want to shoot for a bi-weekly payment, because that'll save you like a little bit if you do bi-weekly payments. And also, because we canceled our renter insurance, and it's already paid up until May, we're going to get a little refund back from that. So I want to be on the lookout for that. They said they're going to send it here, and the apartment people said that they're going to send our deposit here too, to the new address. So I know with it being a new address, it might be a little tricky with it making it here, because I know when you put it in the GPS, this doesn't pop up. So hopefully it makes it here, but those are probably going to be the only two pieces of mail that I actually look out for, the ones that will have checks in them. So that's pretty much January as far as like to-dos and such. One thing that we do want to do, like I said, I do have one birthday that we will be celebrating in January, so I will be getting gifts for her. Another thing that we want to do is get our TVs mounted, and also start shopping around for a dining room set. One that is a little tricky because I have a particular taste, but also I want we have a small dining room because I've taken over, well, we have a breakfast nook because I've taken over the dining room as an office, which I don't regret at all. But because of that, we're working with limited space, but I do want to maximize that space. So it's just tricky making sure we find the right size table, the right shape, the right chairs, the right size chairs, so that the space doesn't look crowded and crazy, but that it's really functional and we're maximizing the space. So yeah, that is pretty much just like some notes for the month of January. So let's go ahead and talk about the actual budget now. Okay, so for the actual budget, let's go ahead and start with housing. So there is currently nothing in housing. We don't have a rent payment. We don't have a mortgage payment. We don't have to pay anything as it relates to housing as of for January. We do have to pay cable/internet. Like I said, that's going to be Comcast's last bill at $55. Our electricity is going to be $87.09. Phone is for both of our AT&T prepaid cell phones. It's going to be $101.50. We have no water bill. Water will come, the lady said that our first water bill won't come for 6 weeks. So that means January is pretty much negated because we just signed up the end of December. So I'm expecting our first bill to be due in February, which I have no earthly clue how much it will be, but that is what she told me. For security, we technically should not have a bill. I almost feel like putting it in here just to be on the safe side. We technically shouldn't have a bill because when we signed up for Vivint, I was referred, well, I technically wasn't referred by my friend, but I asked them if they had a referral program and they said yes, if somebody refers you. So she didn't say like, hey, you know, go get Vivint, but technically the only knowledge I guess I had of Vivint was because of my friend. So anyway, I gave her, the person that I was talking to on the phone, the Vivint agent, I gave them her number and they looked her up and said that I technically shouldn't have to pay the first month's bill because that's basically what the referral credit should be the equivalent of, and the same for my friend. But I don't know. So we may have a bill, we may not. I'm assuming that we will not. So I'm just not gonna put anything in here for security. For our allowances, we're gonna do $100 each, 100 for me, 100 for my husband. For beauty, $225. I plan to get my nails done, which I may take out of my allowance, which is what I did in December and was still under budget. But I'm for sure getting my hair done because my hair needs done for sure. I was gonna get it in December, but December was kind of crazy. So I'm just gonna get it in January now. And that's already scheduled. So $225, and that's gonna cover my hair, my husband's haircut or haircuts, and like any like beauty related stuff. But like I said, I did take nails out of my allowance in December. So I think I'm gonna continue to do that if I'm gonna be out here spending $40 on a fill-in. For donations/gifts, I have this at $200. I'm gonna try to stick to that. I know one thing I wanna get my friend is like 160 something, is 150 plus taxes, so probably like 165. And then I may wanna get her something else. If I do, I'll probably go over budget, but we'll have to see. For toiletries, we're budgeting $50, and that's gonna be for like toilet paper and stuff like that. Miscellaneous, we're gonna budget $100. That is going to capture all of the expenses that we forget if they're not really large. So if we have like, need new tires for $400, this $100 miscellaneous category isn't gonna help out, and that is not gonna help. So we'd have to take that from savings. But like, this is for any miscellaneous checking account expenses. Next, we have travel. I am budgeting $500 for the California trip. My portion of the hotel is really small and like 60 bucks. And so the rest would just be spent on food and turning up. Next, we have business. I am going to budget $500. That's pretty steep. I normally don't do $500, but I think I am going to go ahead possibly and release my next bundles, and that takes some money to get the products that I need to release such such a bundle. So I'm putting it at $500 because of that. For health, we have $19.99 for my gym. Technically, we should also have in here, well, not technically, I am going to the dentist, but the only way that we have to pay out of pocket is if we get that fluoride treatment, which I don't like getting that. So I'm not expecting to pay anything out of pocket for actually my husband goes to the dentist in January too. So unless he gets that fluoride treatment, which he should not, then we shouldn't have to pay anything out of pocket. For gas, I'm gonna budget $150. I don't think my husband's gonna be doing too much ride share. Otherwise, I would budget more. And I'm budgeting a little more than what I normally would budget because my commute to work is gonna be just a little bit longer. So I am budgeting $150. For insurance, we don't have car insurance because we just paid that in full this month in December. So we don't have to pay it again until June. Life insurance for both of us is gonna be $42.19. Health insurance for my husband is gonna be $218.61. We're gonna budget $1,000 for food, which is pretty steep, but that is for food and dates. So it's for groceries, eating out, and dates, which we easily can do $1,000, like easily. And then we have our student loan payments, $221.78 and $73.42, with the latter being my husband's student loan payment. Stay tuned for what we're gonna do about my husband's student loans and what our plan is for like our 2020 financial goals in general. And then we are going to we're gonna create this buffer, which is gonna be about $2,000, which, like I said, is the point of it is to be able to cover our mortgage, not only our mortgage, but also our regular monthly bills. So like our utilities, basically housing and utilities. So we're gonna create about a $2,000 buffer using that income since we're having additional money. And it's gonna be easy because we each get an extra paycheck, so that could be our buffer right there. And then we are going to try to top off our emergency fund, and also to cap our taxes payment, or like our bill for taxes. We don't really know how much it's gonna be, but if it's anywhere maybe like it was last year, it'll probably be like $4,000. So January is honestly pretty crazy. I tried to create a budget to the best of my ability. I don't even know if this is even gonna make sense at the end of January. It's kind of like December. I tried to budget to the best of my ability in December, but it was just too crazy. Like, we're buying our first house and we had to buy things for the house, and it was just too crazy to like really be able to keep up with it like I could a normal month. So I'm just sharing with you guys what I have so far, and I can't commit to it just saying like that. It's probably gonna be a little crazy. But anyway, that is pretty much just like a quick little housing update and our budget that we have currently set for the month of January. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.